Alright, what's up, Yoni B? Can you hear me, man? Am I coming through loud and clear? I'm getting back in on Nvidia with 10 shares here. It had stopped me out, and I think that was a mistake, but I don't know for sure. Um, don't want to lose what I've gained on this, but I think this has potential to continue making a move down. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, good, good. Glad you can hear me. Let's see here. Man, I'll tell you what, Nvidia's strong, but oof, I don't like that. Will consider adding again. Don't want to lose what I've made on this, but I think. Oh, you were catching BA Boeing. Man, I think it's still gonna pull today. Oh, you missed it. Okay, okay, that's all right, man. Man, I'll tell you what, Nvidia's strong. It's strong, but I think that if SPY fails this VWAP here, I feel like Nvidia's gonna fail it too. Let's just see. Let's just see where this gets. Don't know that I want to add to my position at all. Although this would be the place to add. But Nvidia reported good earnings. I don't want to risk. I mean, if this thing breaks out to all-time highs, but man, I really feel like if that SPY comes back, Nvidia is going to have a good shot of coming back. Let's see. Nah. SPY's breaking VWAP. Man, I'm about to lose all my gains on Nvidia. Dang it. Dope. Oh man, Nvidia is a powerhouse today. Okay, I'm coming out half. Coming out half. Just in case. Just in case it breaks high of day. Roku is Roku is the saving grace on the day. It's actually doing really well. So may hold tight to Roku. I would love to see this be a gravestone doji here. I'd love to see that happen. I still think Nvidia has a lot of room to move down. But if it breaks 362.79, I'm probably going to need to get out. Man, SPY is pushing. It's not helping me out here. SPY's pushing, but does it just chop? Can't see SPY continuing today. I could be wrong, but tell you what, I'll be ready for it. If I got to get out, I'll be ready. Let's see where we're at on the 1 minute. Is this just a double top? See if we can get a pull all the way back. If it starts finding support on this EMA on the 2 minute and the 1 minute, then I'm going to have to just let it go. Let it go. Come on, let's get a flush here. Can we get a flush? I think we're moving that way. I'm going to add in 360.77 average. SPY looks like it's breaking back down through VWAP. I will get out if I have to, though. Come on. See a flush back down on NVIDIA. If it fails to break high a day, that'll be good. Come on. SPY's pulling. We need to see a fail here. Otherwise, I got to come out. Okay, coming out. NVIDIA looks like it's breaking to all-time highs. SPY is staying strong. 263.50, not quite. Not quite. Wow. All right, good job for NVIDIA. Good job for NVIDIA. Still going to hold Roku here and see if we can get a good break down below 107.75. See if we can get a continuation. Nice. Nice. If this starts pulling back here, I'll go ahead and get out. Definitely want to see a bigger flush down at this point. I'll tell you what, it's not flushing, that's for sure. SPY's teetering around that VWAP. It's above the VWAP, but it's weak. See if we get a push up here on Roku through that 9 EMA. We have not crossed the 9 EMA on the 1 minute ever since back here. So if we do cross through it, I consider that room enough to get out. Really want to see a smash down through 107.70s. Be great to see if we could get a continued flush. Otherwise, I'll have to come out. Okay. All right, coming out. coming out. Don't know if it's a reversal. Don't want to really take a chance. Tell you what, we are definitely sitting. This could be a triple top. Almost kind of want to take it just to see. SPY's pushing right now, so mRNA eventually failed. Roku getting a push. NCLH kind of blah 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 blah, kind of blah blah. Let's look at the 5-minute chart on these. TWLO still grinding up. Tesla, man, Tesla made it up here. I think I had an alert set above that. Let's see, Tesla, yeah, at 840. So Tesla never hit 840. It's okay. TWL. So, I don't like how these are red. These shouldn't be red. I wonder if I could make a little scalp trade just to put a couple of these in the green real quick. SPY's pushing. Headed back up towards previous day close. Roku continuing to make a nice little reversal there. NCLH making a nice reversal. Cannot see that coming up. It's so much here. I think it could break through VWAP up into the 1430s. I'd feel good about shorting it there. Would love to see a snap up through there. I would take 200 shares short, maybe even 300 at 14.34. Looks like it's going to have a hard time getting up there. We'll reduce that to 200, 1434. Come back here. I'll leave that there. mRNA. Looks like it still wants to make a move down, but it's sitting right on the 9 EMA on the daily. Boeing coming up to VWAP. Nvidia teetering around these levels. I think it can get the same kind of drop that it got here. Man, that was a great move. Should have taken more shares. but really need to just see what the SPY is going to end up doing. I'll spend about, I don't know, I'll spend about 20, 30 more minutes in here. Then I'll give you guys an assessment, an overall daily assessment. I think today, even though it is slower, I think it's possible there's going to be some places to catch some really good reversals, just if it continues to go in the direction that it's going. I can definitely see that as a possibility. I think there's definitely room here to go short. Start going short anyway. I think we can get a move down to 108.69. Tack on another 25 bucks maybe. Buy. SPY looks like it's having a little bit of a pullback, so but I will look to add to this position here on Roku if it does not pull back. Might even take it at 79 if it does not pull back. Reclaim the 9 EMA on the 5 minute, so that's fine. See if we can get a pullback down to those levels. 108.69 is kind of where we need to go. There we go. Come on, bring it down. Bring it down just a little bit more. Let's tack on that 25 bucks. Can we do it? Nope, not quite. It's all right. I think we can still do it. SPY's pulling. Should be a good spot for a quick scalp. SPY's pulling. It's finding a little bit of support there on the 9 EMA though. On the 5 minute. See if it can continue to come down and test VWAP. That might be just what we need to get Roku down to 108.69. Come on. Can we do it? Come on, can we do it? Here, I'll take it at 79. Came down to 73. Getting a VWAP reversal on SPY. Temporary VWAP reversal. We could be finding some support here. So I may need to rethink my position. Let's just see if we can get enough of a flush down. Come on. All right, well, so if it flushes, it stopped right there. So if it flushes, it's going to flush. I think we should get the 69 fill. See what SPY does. There we go. 98. Nah. Okay, gonna come out half there just in case we don't get it. And we'll put this down to 59. Maybe even 49. Man, SPY's getting a nice little buy up. mRNA had a nice drop here. That's incredible. There's no wick. There was no chop. As soon as it broke, it came all the way down. That's I mean, it pretty much did the same thing here. I mean, it's incredible. Because mRNA usually doesn't. Look at that right to the T. Oh, excuse me. Nope. I take that back. I drew that based on that line there. Sorry, guys. So it didn't come all the way back up. It came up to here and then got the drop. So see if we get to fill at 49. NVIDIA seems like it still wants to creep up, but let's look at SPY. Man, if SPY can just make a move to the downside, I think it'll pull NVIDIA with it. I really want to get green on that trade. This to me is all dependent on the SPY and what the SPY ends up doing. If that SPY can come in and suffer a nice little pullback, I think everything else will come back with it. Okay, we're going to get an NVIDIA here. Oh, of course. As soon as I get in, the SPY starts pushing. Let's see, 360, 372. It's obviously going to be my exit point. Now the SPY's pulling, but NVIDIA's pushing. So is that just kind of, there it goes, SPY's pulling. Come on, NVIDIA. Come on. Let's get sunk. Let's sink that battleship. I think we could get a move down, back down to the 350s if this fails. SPY's holding VWAP though. If SPY loses VWAP, we'll be in decent shape as far as that's concerned. Come on. Let's get a flush. There we go. Nice flush. And Roku just needs to come down and get my order. Come on, NVIDIA. There you go. You lost the 20 on the 1. As long as the SPY doesn't get bought up, we should be able to make a good solid move on NVIDIA. Back down to these levels here. SPY's testing VWAP. For some reason, Roku is just holding there. I hate that Roku's holding. There's no reason for Roku to hold. Okay, so SPY's getting a nice little buy up on that VWAP. Let's see how far that buy up goes. Roku is just still VWAP rejection. There's no reason why. Man, massive buy up off that VWAP for the SPY. Dadgummit. Is that enough to give NVIDIA a push? Man, NVIDIA has so much room to move down if it can just, the SPY can just show a little bit of weakness here. Roku's doing the same thing it was doing before. Come on, NVIDIA. SPY's getting a pullback. It's a chop fest, guys. It's a chop fest. But if I got to get out of NVIDIA, I'll get out. Don't want to, but I'll do it. Really would love to break this 360 level again. Come crashing down. Man, if Roku gets another VWAP fail, I'll move my my exit price down. I'll move the price target or whatever. Come on, NVIDIA, get the drop. Get the drop. Roku. NVIDIA getting the drop. If we bust through 361.11, we should be good. If Roku can finally get one last rejection here, we should be good. Come on, NVIDIA, 361.11. It's holding that 20 on the 2 minute. If SPY can show weakness, I think we can break it. I think we can break it and get a nice move down. Roku still getting a VWAP rejection, as it should. SPY's coming back down to test VWAP again. If SPY breaks VWAP, I think that'll be good for NVIDIA, for Roku, for everything. Okay, it broke the 20. Let's see it hold below the 20 on the 2 minute. Okay, this is great. Almost ready to take half off. Want to see a little bit more of a flush. There we go. We'll take half off there. There we go. Okay, so we're back in the green on NVIDIA. And I'm just going to hold that other 5. The SPY broke VWAP. SPY's making its way down. I'm going to hold that other 5 as long as I possibly can. And we're going to try to end this day at least paying for commissions and hopefully pocketing enough money to take my wife out to dinner for our anniversary, which, by the way, is this weekend. So, we'll see. We'll see what direction this goes here. NVIDIA broke and closed below the 5 or the 9 on the 5. Thanks, Sauger. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's been a ride, that's for sure. Marriage ain't easy. But there's been a lot of great things too. So, but that's life, right? You know, even with all of our other passions, like day trading. You know, day trading can be fun. It can be exciting. It can be a lot of great experiences. But there can also be heartache, and it requires a lot of patience and studying. And I find that, you know, marriage is much the same way. It requires patience. It requires studying your wife, learning her behaviors, knowing what makes her tick, learning her little quirks and habits, and, you know, learning how to adapt. You know, I'm not perfect either. I've got my own little quirks and habits and stuff that probably drives her crazy. So, you know, we're all in it together. We're all just a bunch of imperfect people in an imperfect world, and you know, but you know, again, you've got a lot of blessings, a lot of joys that come out of it. I love her family. She's got a great family. She gets along with my family. We like a lot of the same stuff. We laugh at a lot of the same stuff. We make each other laugh. We've got our son, which is, you know, one of the biggest blessings of all. Thank God for him every day, literally. So you know, it's a big hodgepodge of, you know, fun stuff, good stuff, challenging stuff. You know, but anyway. Yes, agreed. I know you meant agreed there, not green. You're just thinking about trading right now, so everything's green to you. No, I'm just kidding. I know what you mean, man. Yeah, family is extremely important. And they're the ones who are going to have your back no matter what. They're the ones who are going to be with you through thick and thin. You know, so when the whole rest of the world turns its back on you, you're still going to have your family. You know, I'm going to move my stop down because it looks like we're going to go further here if we break. Otherwise it's just going to be chop fest. So I will actually consider taking almost the whole $25 on this. I mean, I'll get it at 108.29, we'll say. So what is that? 25 shares. Even though we may just continue getting flushed, I don't want to bet on that though. We got a big order down there at 108. Here, I'll take it at 108. 107.81 is the big order. I'll take it at 108.09. I'll take the full 25. Let's get over on the day here. Find a little support here on mRNA. So good look on that. Roku still giving us as much trouble as it possibly can. Baba may be going for the break here. I don't know if it's a double bottom or a break. I almost kind of, everything's looking like, except for this hourly chart. We had a nice buyback there from 200s up to 203. So, you know, guys, I don't know. I guess we could make our way down to 198 if we break here. I don't know, guys. I don't know. And wow, Roku, I tell you what, Roku is just a dadgum chop fest. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the dadgum chop fest. I am more prone to add to it right now than anything. Yeah, I'm going to add to it. So we got 50 shares at 109.03. And you know, I mean, if I got to get out after this, I mean, really think that this is the case is more for the Bears right now than it is for the Bulls. And I would be looking for a break of 108.47 to take my first half off. I'll say 108.43. Well, no, if it breaks 47, I'll say 40. Come on. Stop playing games. Man, I don't know. If it breaks 47, I mean, it ought to get flushed. But we'll take it. We'll take the first 25 there. Still a huge order down here at 107.81. So I'm thinking it's going to make its way down there. Man, Roku, come on. Nvidia finding support at that 20 moving average. I think it's really going to be dependent on what the SPY does with Nvidia. With Roku, I don't know. This is just a chop fest. It's tricking out a little too much here for me, so come on, Roku. Man, SPY's getting hammered. Come on. There we go. There we go. Roku about to break. Come on, Roku. What are you doing? I'll tell you what. If Roku breaks, I'm moving that 25 shares down. Move it down another 10 cents. Let's see if we can get it. Come on. SPY needs to keep pushing. It's kind of bouncing on a level right now. Really want to see SPY crack through that level. Okay, it's cracking through. There it is. I don't know why it's not dragging the rest of the market with it. It should be. There it is. I'll tell you what, Roku's as stubborn as it gets right now. Come on. This, by all intents and purposes, should be coming down. Although SPY looks like it's finding support there. Nope, it's coming. It's cracking. Come on, SPY. Come on. Continue pulling. It's finding support. Yeah, SPY is finding support. Roku's going to get bought up right there with it. Come on. Let's see a flush. Nvidia's getting bought up with it. Could be a reversal here on SPY. Let's see if Roku can maintain some divergence here. See if it can break back down through. Let's see what SPY's doing on the 2-minute. This will determine whether I hold through this or not. So as you can see, when I say that SPY is getting bought up off a level, it's getting bought up off of this level right here, 293.42. Pretty significant level, but it could lose it. This could just be a minor pullback on the 5-minute, and if it is, then I'm fine with that. See what Nvidia's doing. I mean, I'll tell you what, I don't know who's buying Roku right now, but this is ridiculous. Could just be a short squeeze. Tell you what. If I have to get out, I'll get out. Watching SPY. Okay, SPY's breaking back down through that level. SPY's getting the drop. SPY's getting the drop. It's holding, but it's wanting to drop. It's holding on the 2-minute. It's holding that level. Let's see. Let's see if it can finally lose it and get some momentum to the downside. I think it'll pull Roku. I hope it will. I mean, this is just chop. This is just chop. For all I know, this is just coming all the way up to here, and it's going to get sold off again. So we'll just see what the SPY does. Hopefully we don't have to take too much of a loss if it goes against us. SPY really looks like it's wanting to hold that level, but this right here will kind of be the tell-all of what's going to happen. Come on, SPY. Come on. Come on. Man. All right, I'm coming out Roku because I have no idea what that's about to do. I don't know if we're about to get a short squeeze, and SPY's just taking its sweet little time there at that level. So that was a good spot to get out on Roku. It came all the way back down to what, 109.22. So this is one of those days where it's just going to be a difficult day. You know, best chance that I have right now to make any kind of real profit is if Nvidia gets a pullback all the way back down to these levels, maybe even previous day close. If SPY can get a drop, I think it can pull Nvidia back through VWAP, and I think we could move far enough down to where I could get out with about a $60 to $70 win on the day. So that's what I'll be watching for, guys. But I think I'm pretty much done for the day. I can't tell who all is here. I had to restart the live stream, so I don't know. Obviously, Yoni B. I've seen Yoni B. I've seen Sagar in here. I can't tell how many viewers are on there. Sagar, if you're still in the room, how many viewers do we even have right now? Are there? I wonder how many people actually. Oh, okay, and there's Work Diver. All right. I'm gonna say, I wonder how many people actually found out that I had to restart the live stream. But short it all 6. Sagar says 7. Okay, so roughly 6-7 people in the room right now. Okay, well, to you 6 or 7 people in the room right now. Okay, thanks, Theta Trader. Yeah, thank you guys for joining in. And I'll just say, for future reference, any time we have technical issues like that, you can just look for me to restart it. I won't, obviously, unless it's like super late in the day. Like, I mean, if it's like, I don't know, like 1 in the afternoon or something, but we haven't been going that long here lately. So, but anytime it's in the morning and we lose connection, I'll always try to start it back over, so you guys can always look for that. But yeah, just here's a couple trade ideas for you, just in case. And look at this. Look at Roku. What did I tell you? I have no clue what that sucker's about to do. Man. I mean, it was really holding here. It was really, really holding there. So, but I'll tell you, I've got a couple different trade ideas for the day. mRNA is kind of one of those ones where I really don't I don't trust it right now. It's so whippy. I think if I were to try to make a trade on it, I would consider VWAP, just because it meets this area of support right here. Okay, now it is bouncing off the previous day high. If I got in here, I would only get in with, maybe, I don't know, 50 shares or something like that, giving it room to come up, and I would draw this trend line here. So I would give it room to come up to here. I would not add yet at this point. I would wait for a breakthrough and a test of these levels up here to finally add. So I'd probably put my first in at 69, Then I'd put my second 50 shares in at 70. I'd have 100 shares at 69.50. And then I would do the final add up here around 71 at this trend line here. And I'd probably do a 2 or a 1-1-2 add. So 50 shares, and then double up and take 100 at 71. And that would bring my average to, I would have then 200 shares at roughly, I think, a 70-25 average. And, I don't think mRNA would make any kind of significant push today. I can't see mRNA just coming in here and getting bought right back up. So, in my opinion, that would be a pretty safe trade. I think we would definitely get a retest of maybe VWAP or at least this area of support here, so $70 area. So if it did come back to here and you had 200 shares, and if it was looking like it was finding support here, then you could go ahead and you'd at least get a $40-50 win on that. So that's kind of one thing that I'm looking at. Yoni B is asking about PDD. I've traded PDD a lot in the past, and I've stayed away from it, here in, I don't know, the last year or so, but I might have traded it a couple of times. Interesting. Let me see here. So right now PDD is, so on the daily, this is pretty big. It basically had a 20 EMA bounce, recovered the 9 EMA on the daily, and is getting a massive buy up here. And today it started out at $60.13. We're all the way up here. Before I say anything, let me look at the news on PDD. And to those of you who are not too familiar with PDD, just keep in mind that it's a larger share float. You're dealing with about 600-700 million share float. Let's see. Okay, so beats revenue estimates. Okay, so earnings beat. It had an earnings beat, but the thing is I would think that this is still hype because there's still a lot, a huge verdict out basically on all these Chinese stocks and the possible, at least just the rumors of the possible delistings. So I don't know, the one good thing about it is you could come in, pretty safely here. It had a run up. It did not break through the previous high here. So it could be getting a pullback to VWAP. I see a huge order on the bid down there at 64.71. So, of course, we're losing ground on it right now, but and it's hitting a previous area of support. So I don't know, guys. I mean, I think this is actually would be a good trade at 66. I would have taken it at 66, and I probably would have started with 100 shares ready to average in at another 100 maybe at 67, and then wait for a pullback. But we kind of missed that move there. So I don't think I would take it. But what I would look for is a retest, and if it ends up doing this thing where it's basically forming lower highs, and it retests this trend line and starts pulling back, I might get into it right there at the top because that would be a really short risk to reward. And so yeah. Let me guys, give me 1 second. I'm gonna take a really quick break. I'll be right back, and I'll finish out a couple other trade ideas I have for the day. All right, so yeah, Yoni B. So I'm thinking that I'm thinking I would take a trade roughly up around this area right here, right at 66. Um, and this would not be an averaging trade, by the way. I'm telling, when I said I would have averaged there, that's what I would have done. That's what I would have done when it first ran up because of the support. Now, I think that if it breaks this 66, was it 66.19 level or whatever, this 66.25, if it breaks that 66.25 area, that's where I would stop out because, it could end up coming all the way up here. Um, but what I would do is look for another run up after that. I would maybe start adding around like 67.50 just for little scalps, looking for little pullbacks. Like I would take maybe 100 shares at 67.50 and then let it pull back to roughly, maybe roughly 67 or something, and just scalp out, the quick 40, $50 or whatever you would end up getting. And then I mean, again, I can't see it. I can't see it making that kind of a run up. I really can't. Um, Nvidia looks like it's going to start turning around. A lot of it's dependent on the SPY too. So SPY is definitely holding this level here. You can see it. It's cracked below it 3 times now. It's holding it. But this could be one of those things where SPY just kind of stays in this channel all day and just moves up and down, up and down, up and down. Um, I don't think Nvidia's going to. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to end up coming out of Nvidia. So I'm going to put a stop on those 5 shares at 360.50. We'll say stop limit. Okay, and we got out there. So 38.69 on the day so far, guys. Took a trade on XSPA, up 117, net up 96. Now done trading. I only took 8 plus setup. Good job. So paper trade, the idea, Yoni B. Okay, Matt, when you get a chance, can you share the way you get the levels for SPY? Yes, I will share that. Yeah, as you can see, these levels are very, very, very consistent. So yeah, I'll do that here in a sec. Let me just see if we've got any more possible trade ideas. Roku, I'm probably going to stay away from Roku now. And I think we can clear this trend line on the daily. Pretty much going to stay away from Roku for the rest of the day. I don't trust it. And probably going to stay away from NCLH. Baba did basically double bottom. Chinese stock. JD, probably going to stay away from. Although I tell you what, this has more of a case to the short side. It's butting up against that 9 EMA. And I think if SPY continues to just kind of dilly-daddle around or whatever and show weakness, I just say dilly-daddle. If it starts to dilly-daddle around, let's see something. Hold on. What are we looking at here? Okay. So I would maybe look for JD to butt up against that trend. Maybe 50.90 I think would be a good spot to go short on it. I don't think it's going to get bought up. I really don't, but could be wrong. But the good thing about it is this 9 EMA is at 51.07. And so on the daily, that is. And so that just so happens to line up here on the 15 minute. It would be breaking all these 15-minute candle highs. It would be breaking through this previous area of support. So that would be a good spot to get out. So basically, if this comes up to 50.90, and I were to take 100 shares on it, of course, I'd be looking for a move all the way back down to these levels. Hopefully later in the day it would come back, break back through VWAP and test these levels, especially if SPY continued to show weakness. And so we'd be making, after scaling out piece by piece, it could be as much of as a $80-90 trade on 100 shares. And then I would just have a stop set here at the break of 51.09, really 51.07 probably, because of this, the 9 EMA on the daily. So what's this level here? 50.99. Yeah, I'd probably put it at 51.06. So you would be risking roughly $16 to make maybe $80-90 on 100 shares, or just double those numbers if you're thinking about 200 shares. Of course, it looks like we're not going to get that. So NVIDIA continuing to show weakness. Would love to see NVIDIA get a breakdown here, but I don't tend to think that it is. Looks like, if anything, I mean, if it holds this support here, it could end up squeezing up again. It's had momentary points of strength, even in opposition to the SPY, even though it seems to, have been tracking with the SPY pretty well. I did notice there were times with NVIDIA where it was diverging from the SPY a little bit, or anytime the SPY would show just a little bit of strength, it would have this massive run up. That's pretty much what was happening back here. But if this kind of goes into a point of consolidation and a tightening range, really, what I would do is watch the SPY, and if the SPY looks like it's finding support and about to gain strength, then I would go long in that tightening range and just have a very tight stop for if it ends up breaking down, right? If the SPY, once this continues in a tightening range, tightening pattern, if the SPY starts showing that it looks like it's going to finally crack through this level here or something like that, then I would go short and just set a very tight stop to the upside. So those are two pretty solid trade ideas. And for me on NVIDIA, I would probably just get in like maybe just 10 shares, because I don't, I'm up basically $40 on the day. And this is basically paid for my trades today. I might have made enough to go buy my son a binky, from Walmart or whatever. But I wouldn't want to risk much here. And right now we're in enough of a tightening range to where I would only really have to risk $1 to maybe make, $5, $6, $7 on that 10 shares. And so it's probably another solid trade idea I have. And right now, I mean, on the 5-minute, it's rejecting that 9 EMA. It is rejecting that 9 EMA. It would have to make a higher. So you know what? I could take 10 shares here, and I think I might do that, guys. Actually, I don't think that's a bad idea. Where were we at on the 15 minutes? 361.30. Is that this one right here? Yeah, that's that candle right there. SPY's looking weak. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and jump in. So I'm going to take that 10 shares. This will be the last trade that I take today, and I'm going to put a stop. I want to get stopped out if it ends up, because the SPY looks like it's kind of, you can see the SPY. It's getting another VWAP breakthrough, breakdown, whatever. And the thing is if it turns around and starts coming up through here, then NVIDIA is probably going to start coming up, and I'll just have to get out with a $10 loss. But if SPY breaks this level, I think it'll pull NVIDIA with it, and I think we could move at least $5, $6, maybe even $7. So let's see. So 360.22. Look at this. SPY finally gets a breakdown. Now, what it might do is it might do a fake out breakdown and find support, and then of course, you know, it'll do what it always does and ends up just bouncing back. But right now, it looks like it's following more of a channel, trend channel. Man, come on, SPY. Let's get the break. Here we go. I can come off here. Let's see if we can get a move down, come out the first 5 shares. Go ahead and unload those. Pay for the trade. Can we get it? We broke VWAP. I don't know if we're going to get it. So I'll remove that. And where did it touch? 358. Where am I at? 360.22. So let's do 358. Let's see, 358. This could be significant. Although if SPY finds support, it's not going to come back below. But let's take 357. Let's get the break of it at 357.80. See if we can get that fill. Because I think if we break through that, we can get down to 357.80. But look at SPY. SPY's getting bought right back up. So it's finding support. You know, I ought to just lock in a little profit here just in case. Let's look at what's happening on the 1 minute. Man, what a buy up. Man, what a buy up. Although Nvidia is still kind of making moves to the downside. There's divergence here, guys. This is great. Let's see if we get down to 357. Are we going to get that move? There we go. There we go. There we go. We got the first 5 shares. We're up $50.79. Matt, run. I'm running too. I don't know, man. I think so. Now this is good. This is good because if SPY truly does come down and break through these levels, we'll make that $70 on the day that I was hoping to make. Nvidia could be finding support though right here, so I'll be mindful of that. But right now, I mean, this is following a very good pattern. As you can see, we've seen these patterns play out many times where they come down. You know, it formed a tightening range between the 9 and the 20 on the 5 minute, and that's very significant when it can break through all of that. And you know, when it can't stay above that 9 EMA and then it crushes down through VWAP, I mean, we've got a pretty strong case for us right now. Now, the only reason why I would say that we don't is because this is such a strong level of support here. We had support all through here that became resistance, and then it became resistance here. So I think if we crush through here, I think we have a very strong case for the bears to bring Nvidia down quite a bit today, quite a bit. You know, and we could even push ourselves over $100. You guys might come back later on the recap and see that I'm up $100. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll quite make it up there, but we might. We might. Like I said, we've got a pretty strong case for it. So, but anyway, yeah. So the good trade ideas here. And look at this. Look at this. mRNA came right up to that trend line. I missed it. I didn't get in. But again, that trend line met the VWAP, met this previous area of support. I'm almost tempted to get in here. I think this would be a good, strong potential move. Let's see if we can get a retest of that VWAP again, and that trend line. See if we can get that. There we go. There we go. Is this good? 5 shares here. If it down to, we got in at 94, we'll bring it down to 44. Let me make sure that's a good spot. Yeah, because if it broke, yeah, I think we could get to 44 if it ends up coming down. So, but if it continues to go up, I would be willing to take a stab on mRNA. Up. I barely got one Benjamin Franklin. So let's see, we take another 25 shares at 69. 54 maybe. See if we can get a fake out breakout on this. SPY's getting a rejection. NVIDIA is continuing to move down. So that's going to be my hedge on mRNA. Otherwise, really looking for that move, the break of we might even be safe to take it at 68.34, but I think 44 is a good point to take that at. We'll let this play out a little bit here. Now, I may change my game plan if this bounces around this trend line and looks like it's starting to build support on top of the trend line. I'll go ahead and get out because then that'll just mean we could come all the way back up to this next trend line here. And if that's the case, then I'll want to look for better entry points. So, but right now, I would really love to see a fail and a break down here to 68.44. Don't see why we couldn't get that. So, like I said, just trying to make a quick, just a quick 10 bucks on mRNA. It's choppy though. It's a choppy stock. It's probably going to whip around a little. I don't know if it'll be necessarily the cleanest VWAP rejection. As you can see, we made it down to the 68.58 levels. So I think if we break through that, I think we can come down now. mRNA has a tendency to really flush pretty heavily. So I might even take that 25 at 68.40 just to tack on a few, maybe an extra dollar or something. If let's see, it's really not going to be an extra dollar, but it'd be an extra 50 cents. Cover some of the commission. Okay, so here's what's happening right now. So SPY is once again developing, it's in a tightening range. And it's definitely showing that it's going to hold that support right there. So maybe smart to come out NVIDIA. But I would first want to see a break of all these levels here. Or what I could do is I could let it come up to this trend line. I could add to NVIDIA if NVIDIA gets enough of a pullback, banking on a trend line rejection. And then if it just continues to break through, then I can just get out NVIDIA. See if mRNA can finally get the drop here. And Yoni B, I will address your question here in a sec. Visit. Oh snap! Look at this. NVIDIA recovered that VWAP. Let's see what kind of a recovery it's gonna get here. So on the 15-minute chart, we have not broken the previous 15-minute candle this entire time. So where did I get in? I got in with 5 shares at 360.22. That is 360.78, the break of that 15-minute candle. And that would be a very well established break above that 9 EMA and hold for continuation. So I'm going to get out the rest of those shares at 360.78. That's where I'm setting my stop. So if it stops me out, it stops me out. If it doesn't stop me out, we're gonna do well. Let's look at mRNA again. See if we can finally get the drop here. Oops, we have to put it in 360. I might even go over 360.50. If it cracks through 360.50, I'll just stop and get out. So we'll lose a little bit on those other ones, but we're up on Nvidia. We did really well on that one. So I mean, I wouldn't say really well, but we did decent enough. Let's see if mRNA can finally get the flush. And I think if it breaks through 50s, I think we could definitely tap down in the 30s, which it should grab my order right there at the 40s. SPY's pushing though. So here's the deal. SPY looks like it's going to push up to that trend line. We'll see if it breaks through it or gets a rejection. And we'll see if it pulls mRNA with it. And mRNA, I will consider. If it breaks that trend line, if it breaks that trend line, I'll probably just want to reset my position because mRNA can go. It really can. It could form like 2 more of these easily, all the way up to these levels here, and I can always reset my position. 69.11. So Nvidia's holding, even though SPY's getting that buy up. Nvidia's holding. I'm almost considering adding to my position, but I'll let it go for now. See if we can get that trend line rejection or if I'm going to have to take a loss. Find out. What I might try to do, if it does get a trend line break, I'll put my order in at break even, just kind of in case it pops back real quick. If not, I'll have to track it down and stop out. Yeah, this will be a very significant break. I will want to get out if this breaks. There it is. Is that a fake out breakout? Okay. Let's just see where this 1 minute candle closes. See if there's any kind of buying power involved here. Can we close below that trend line on the 1 minute? That I don't like. Okay, so I'm going to try to get out on a quick pullback. It's not going to give me the pullback. Is it going to give me the pullback? Come on. $68.89. Tell you what, though. Let's see. Be patient. Trying to be patient for the pullback. Come on, 68.94. Can come back to this trend line. Can come back to at least retest the trend line here. This is the great thing about conservative share size. I mean, it got me down $7. Big deal. It's moving very slowly. If I don't get the pullback, with as slow as this is moving, I'll be so comfortable adding to it up at these levels, just enough to get, to average in and get a pullback to get myself out, break even, maybe even with a little bit of profit. So this should come on. Okay, we're just going to get a gradual buy up. It's not going to give me the pullback, so I'll look for a spot to average in. And that averaging in spot will be at 69.94. I will sell, go short there. So it's either going to get me out by testing this VWAP or testing this trend line, or I'll get to add to my position and get out on another pullback. So let's check out NVIDIA again. NVIDIA made a VWAP recovery, but it could be just turning right back over. It's continuing to get a rejection off that 9 EMA. Beautiful. Beautiful. But we want to see continuation to the downside here. So MRA may get a test of VWAP. I think it would come through I think it would poke through VWAP. It's a choppy stock. It tends to, it's poked through here several times. It did it all up through here, I think we get a significant enough pullback. Okay, so I think I've dragged my feet enough on this topic of the SPY. So Yoni B, are you still in here? I'm going to go ahead and address it. Sorry, I just got caught up in something. You know how it is. Here we go. Hopefully we'll get. Weird question. Does anyone fast once in a while? I don't think that's a weird question. So there's a lot of things to the topic of fasting, but I think fasting is very good for us, for human beings, and for several reasons. Obviously, it's good for our health. It's good for our diet. It's good for our mental state, our emotional state. And it doesn't have to be necessarily this thing of, where you fast like for a whole week, or you go a whole, 40 days and 40 nights without eating anything, it doesn't have to be a Moses on the mountain type of thing, or a Jesus in the desert type of thing. I mean, I think, even just missing a meal each day or something like that. But there's a type of dieting that's, I think it's called like keto or ketosis or whatever. Oh, I see what you're saying. So 1 p.m. you're going to tear it up, right? Well, yeah, I think there's a keto diet you can do where your body goes into a state of ketosis or something like that, where it's and actually my dad has been doing this his whole life pretty much, where he will literally only eat one meal a day. He's a very busy guy, and he's constantly on the go, and I think it probably just started out just being something where he just didn't have time to eat and it just became his lifestyle. So he wakes up, he goes all day, and he only eats dinner. That's all he eats. Every night he'll just eat a big plate of food or something. And so, I always thought that was interesting, but he's in his late 60s and the guy is in super great condition. I mean, my dad could probably kick my butt if he wanted to. Like, he's in great shape, and he also swims. He'll go to the Y. He'll swim a mile like 3 or 4 times a week. Obviously, right now with the whole coronavirus things, I don't think you can get inside of the YMCA. But that's just just a little side note there. But he's been kind of doing that ketosis thing, and I did it for a while too, just because same thing, purely out of the fact that I was so busy. I just didn't take time to stop and eat, and I would just really just eat at nights. And so your body kind of generates a whole another kind of energy with that, and it really it helps your body to even burn fat. And so again, it's good mentally, it's good for you emotionally and whatnot. And um, there's a lot of spiritual implications to that sort of thing as well. So um, man, the spy looks like it's about to make a push. But good question, Yoni B. Are you still in here, man? I'm gonna address your question about the spy. I'll share the levels with the spy. So let's see. I've been reading about it. Doing a 1-day fast once in a while is beneficial for the body. Having fat as your primary resource to burn energy is better than carbs. Yeah, exactly. All that stuff. All that stuff. I'm no expert on it, but I probably know enough just to be dangerous. So, okay, mRNA is still continuing to move up, but if you see how it's working, it's not like it's getting this massive buy up. It's getting bought up and then it's getting these pullbacks and bought up and then pullbacks. And so I think if it were to come back now and retest these levels down here, I think it would come far enough down to where I could get a little bit of a profit. So I would probably take it at 68.84 just to pay for the trade. Okay, Yoni B. So let's pull out the SPY here. So when I look for levels on the SPY, I'm not just looking for, well, first of all, I resort to the daily levels. So you can see here, this is a daily chart of the SPY. Let me make it big. It's a daily chart of the SPY, and I have very critical levels marked out. Okay, this one is a very critical level because it's kind of where we topped out back here in 2018 before we, kind of had this huge loss, this huge correction, and it even came back up and tested around this level. Got a pullback, came up, broke through it, but got a pullback there, and then finally charged up, broke through, anyway, so when we drop back, it's interesting because the first major drop that we have actually stopped right there at that level. And then the next day when it opened up, it got bought right up to that level. So I know that this level right here, 297.57, is a key critical area on the SPY. Okay, so Hexo looks good. Okay, I might check that out in a minute. And then here, it broke up through it and had a massive run up, but then it came back and retested it. And then when it gapped down here, I mean, you could just see that this level is so important. It opened up right at that level and dropped. Okay, and then we've come up here now and we've knocked on the door to this level several times. We have not been able to break it quite yet, right? So that's kind of how I'll pick a lot of levels. And even this level right here is a pretty significant level. Let's see. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. So I was going, okay, there was this level. Sorry, got a little turnaround on this level. There was this level here and this level here. So when I took you over here and showed you all of that stuff just a second ago, I was going off of this level. But each of these levels, I hope I'm not confusing you. Each of these levels basically have previous historical markers attached to them, and especially here, since the big rundown, we've even got like this level marked out here was a very critical level because it kind of knocked on the door several times. Over here, this seemed to be just a critical level where a lot of consolidation was formed. There were a lot of daily closes or opens at that level. And then, of course, here you can see we tapped down perfectly on it. Okay, we came back here, tapped down perfectly on it, tapped down almost perfectly on it. So this is a critical area. And then this purple area was like the most critical. Well, I think this area right here, we can probably get rid of this area. This area probably has more to do with this. But there was a little touchback to that area here, and there was a touchback to that area here. But this purple level right here was the bottom of the 2018 correction. So that was pretty significant. Let me check on my... so SPY is getting a rejection off that there, which means that mRNA could end up getting a flush. We'll see. We'll just kind of keep it on there and see what happens. But a lot of times when I'm marking out my level for the SPY, I'll even look at more recent days. Okay, so we had the major drop, right? And I'll look at more recent days and I'll see, okay, where do these lines line up with on these drops here? Where does this line line up? That seems to be a critical line right here. Look at this line right here. So it had, when we were first getting the drop, it tapped on it right there. It might have even come from a level back here. Okay, and yeah, there's a level back here. It kind of consolidated around that area, touched, made support around that area. But I first look here and then I go left and I gradually work my way back and I just see, okay, how critical are these levels? Okay, and so then once I get them on the daily chart, I will turn over and start marking them out on the intraday chart, and I'll match them up. But on the intraday chart, I will add some other levels. First of all, this previous day close is automatically in here. And it just so happens that this previous day close is lined right up with another critical level that I had to mark out, and that level was 294.88. So let's go back to the daily and let's see if 294.88 is marked out. Let's see. 294.46. So roughly, this is basically roughly that same level there. 40 cents apart on the SPY isn't a lot. So in that basic general area between 294.40 and 294.80 is a very critical place that you're going to want to watch. But a lot of times when I even make new when I make new levels on these on the daily chart, I also look to see on the daily, on the intraday, where are these, are these also lining up with some critical areas? So again, I'll go back and look left, look left, look left. And we can see here, this level right here is obviously important. It touched here. It touched around here, finally broke through and dumped. Almost touched here, almost touched here. Came up, butted up here, broke through, but then came back down, broke through, but then came back down, and then finally broke. Like, we could see that it touched this area so many times in that point of consolidation. So this tells me that this is a pretty strong level. And certainly it is, because now, and again, the levels aren't perfect. I mean, we had a breakthrough and then a buyback, a breakthrough and then a buyback, but you can see that other traders are looking at this. Other people know. Institutional traders are looking at this. Algorithmic trading bots are programmed to this. Okay, so it becomes almost kind of like that self-fulfilling prophecy that you hear people talk about. Look at this move right here. Now, this obviously comes from a level 291.20. I don't know if I got that on the daily. Did I get that on the daily? Let's check. 290.03. Nope. Let's see. 291. So there's a 291 there, but that didn't really come from a daily level. So that's obviously a level that I marked out because I saw it just tapped right here. Okay. And actually, no, excuse me. This is a white dashed line, which means I marked the previous day close. But it's interesting that previous day close just so happens to line up here and just so happens to almost line up with that level on the daily. So I always mark the previous, not the previous close, the pre-market low. Sorry, my apologies. I'm probably confusing you right now. I always mark out the pre-market lows or the pre-market highs with a white dashed line. Okay. Any other time you see a light colored dashed line, it's probably going to be gray. instead of bright white. Bright white tells me that it's a low, or that it's a pre-market level. So I didn't mark out pre-market highs today because pre-market highs was butting up against the previous day close in this other important level. So I just figure if it breaks pre-market highs, it's also going to be breaking previous day close and this other level here that I marked out. And so there's no need to mark that. But you can see we got pre-market lows here, and then we've got the previous day close that's lined up with a really important daily level. And then this one right here, this actually isn't really showing anything. So this might be an old line that I have to get rid of. But let's see, what's the level? 290.18. And yeah, we've got a daily level marked at roughly 290. This one right here is marked roughly at 290. It's 290.03, so close enough. They're not always perfect, by the way, if you can tell. So I leave that, and I make all the ones down here red because this tells me that this is going to be bearish territory. And then I'll usually make the lines above green, which I need to go ahead and change this one because this should be green. Yoni B, if you can't tell, I'm not always the best, most coherent teacher, so I apologize if I'm having a hard time making sense of a lot of this. And I'll tell you what, SPY looks like it's getting bought up. So NVIDIA is probably going to get bought up, I'm guessing. Or mRNA. I'm going to go for the break of 70. Let's do 70, 44. We'll do 50. Man, look, NVIDIA is getting bought right up there. Right up there. So see if we can get bought up there at 359.72. Get enough of a pullback. All right, thanks, Yoni B. See if we can get $5 out of this. Look at mRNA. Look at that. So we got out mRNA. Look at that massive drop. Look at that massive drop. What did I tell you guys? I called the bluff there. Called the bluff. And it's basically coming back to test this trend line. So just couldn't get a good buy up there. So NVIDIA, oh man, I wanted to. Okay. Yeah, so Yoni B, I'm sorry, and my mind has kind of been on these trades too. I've been a little. That was, I feel like that wasn't a great teaching moment, but basically, and if I could really sum it up, and I think you get it. I don't really feel like I have to go into all this. You're obviously fully capable in this market. You do very well for yourself, and it's not like I'm any more of a professional than you are. But just since you asked my personal perspective, I just want to make that clear that I typically go off of daily levels. I always open up a chart on a daily chart and look to the left. Those levels are so critical. People don't understand how much, like how critical they are, and how much other traders watch this stuff, especially the institutional traders. Okay, these guys have a trained eye for that stuff. Their algorithmic trading bots are built around stuff like that. So it's far greater importance than I think people give it credit for. But this is why I am green as much as I am, is because that's the core of my strategy, knowing what those daily levels are, and then opening up an intraday chart, knowing where the previous day close is, knowing where the pre-market highs and lows are, and knowing where the previous day highs and lows are. I mean, that's really as simple as it gets. And if you pay attention to those levels, yes, they don't work like magic all the time, but a lot of times they really do. They really do. And so, I don't know. I mean, I think that's definitely something that should be taken very, very seriously for as day traders, because I mean, really, that is kind of that's our bread and butter right there. I mean, you got to look at levels, daily levels, levels of support and resistance. Like, that's our daily bread, and especially when levels of support and resistance match up with the daily levels or the previous day close, or I mean, that is a really strong, that makes a really strong case for support or resistance, either or, depending on what you're going for. But man, Nvidia's getting the drop here. Nvidia's getting the drop. So let me look at this Hexo, Yoni B. You keep calling Hexo, man. Okay, so you're long on Hexo for a move. Looks good for a move back to 89. Then okay. Well, looks good for a move back to. Oh, I see what you're saying. Because of this level here, yeah. And then, okay, well, you might be right, man. Okay. What's your thought process on Hexo? Why are you taking Hexo, out of curiosity? Ah, man. You don't know why the chart looks like that for me. It's much more crisp on the broker I have. Maybe because it's a 5-minute. No, that probably isn't it. Interesting. Let me look at it on TradingView. See what it looks like on TradingView. Okay, so here's TradingView. Yeah, that's it's definitely a lot more crisp. Basically my bread and butter momentum swing trade. Okay. Nice. Love to know how it goes for you. There's no shares for shorting, so there's that. Man, I should have held mRNA. Look at that. Making a nice, sweet move back to the downside. Roku. Baba. I wonder if I could just make a quick move on Baba to bring my to bring myself green on the day on that move. Let's see if we can turn Baba green. This is just an experiment. We want to turn Baba green. Let's see if we can turn Baba green. 201.74. We'll do 84. Come on. Nah. Should be able to get that. Should be able to get 202.84 or 201.84. Come on. If it can't get it, I'll take it at 94. SPY's pulling. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Baba. $3.25. Let's see if we can turn to JD green. Slow but green day, only traded 2 stocks, 6 executions. That's great. That's great, Sagar. Man, I should have held that to 201.84. We would have gotten it. Let's see if JD... Yeah, JD didn't quite tap that trend line. I've been noticing this the last few days. I'm starting to notice a trend where it'll touch trend lines a couple times and then it won't quite make it back over. I've seen that. I've seen this pattern several times. And this is how the market works, guys. Like I think you've got people who, start to expect it to go up here, but then it doesn't. Because it works so well for several weeks on end. So it starts doing this thing. Well, and then eventually people start thinking, oh, this is a good place to go short. And then they get squeezed out and it starts testing those trend lines again. I don't know. This market does what it wants to do. I mean, that's the moral of the story. Clearly. This market does what it wants to do. mRNA getting a nice little pullback. But I think that's a superficial pullback. Yeah. NVIDIA finally losing VWAP. I'd be fine to go in 10 shares here. Be fine to go in 10 shares here and see if we can get a move down to see if we can push this P&L over $70 today. We will look at 356.11. We'll buy those 10 shares back. See if we can get that move. And if it comes back against me, I'll consider adding. But if we break 357.08, I think we should get that. I mean, the SPY has gotten a rejection off of that trend line multiple times. Don't see why it wouldn't test, this level again. Might not though, and I'll be ready for it. I don't know what's up with my OBS software. May get a pullback, but I would be fine adding to it if it did. As long as the SPY looks like it's gonna remain weak, I think Nvidia can make its way down. Oh, come on. Yoni B, were you talking about the game I was playing with Baba? I just now thought of that. You were probably talking about the game with Baba. Yeah, and JD. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that with JD. I should be out of here, guys. I shouldn't even be trading anymore. Well, I was gonna get a VWAP recovery. I'll tell you what, that candle on the 15-minute down here, this is a very bearish case. That establishes a very bearish case. It's choppy on the hourly. But it's holding that 20. We'd have to lose that 20. So I'll take another 10 at 360. 11. SPY's knocking on the door to that trend line again. So this will say a lot. I mean, if this breaks trend and holds above it and starts going back up, I'm going to have to get out in NVIDIA. I'll definitely have to get out. I'm really, at this point, I mean, I've paid for commissions. I'm really just trying to see if I can make something for my troubles this morning. Just, but I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. If NVIDIA gets a drop, for sure, I'm gonna do all right. For sure. It doesn't get the drop. SPY breaks that trend line and this junk starts moving up, then I'll just have to take the L. At least it's not going to be a red day. There's no chance of this being a red day. So run, Matt. Theta trader. Yeah. I would on any normal given day, but it really is kind of one of those. Like, I've had a great week. I've been green every day this week. I had my best day in a long time yesterday. I had several $100 days, or I'll say a couple $100 days. I had, I don't know, 250 some dollar day. Yesterday was a $300 day. I'm kind of in that place right now where it's like, there's still great potential for this stock to have a good sell-off today. There's still great potential. And if SPY just stays weak and maintains below that trend line, I think we're going to get it. And so it's, but then I'm also saying to myself, well, if we don't and have to take a loss, whatever. It's like, I don't even care at this point. I don't care if I lose anything. I care if I make something. I really don't care if I end up losing anything, because I already feel like I've spent the last 3 hours here for nothing. So anyway. But we'll see. Looks like SPY's trying to break it. If SPY breaks it, it's going to go on a tear here. If it gets rejected, it's going to reject hard. SPY's getting rejected. You can see right here. All right, Sauger. All All right, Sagar. It's good seeing you, man, and I'm glad you could be here. Glad you were profitable today. And yeah, oh yeah, markets closed Monday. That's right. So Tuesday it shall be. Have a great weekend, man. Theta Trader says, I count trades as winning, not the money gain. Yeah. Yeah. And there's something to say for that, Theta Trade. I once heard another trader say that you're only as good as your last trade, which is why people like to end on a good note. That you want to end the week on a good note, knowing that you made a good trade, even if you really didn't make money, you know. But for me, I tell you what, just kind of at this point, um, like I said, just because I'm green on the week, I did great this week. I'm not, it's worth it to me to see if not only this can end up being a good trade, but if we can actually make some money on the day today. So, so it really is kind of like a stab in the dark type of, I'm taking a shot in the dark here. Although that's not a complete shot in the dark. Like I said, I mean, I'm watching Spy. Like I said, if Spy breaks up out of this, then I'll get out. But as long as there's a case to where Spy could break to the downside, we could see a really heavy drop on Nvidia, and this could end up being a really good trade. So I don't, even though I'm thinking to myself, yeah, if I have to take a little bit of a loss on the day, that's fine, whatever. At the same time, I do think it's a legit trade idea. So, but I'll watch it. I'll watch it closely. I'll try to keep it clean. This is a really good case. I mean, look at the Spy here. It's definitely, I've seen this many times. I've seen this many times where the Spy just ends up getting completely crushed. It finally comes down to this important level and then just smashes right through. Although, right now, it doesn't look like it's going to do that. Looks like it's getting a break out of that trend line. See if it gets a confirmation. I'll tell you what, it continues to get slammed down though. Got less than a minute left in this candle here. In this 5-minute candle, excuse me. Man, I want to see Spy get crushed here. Oops, got in 20 there. Okay, wasn't quick enough. So Spy cleared. Okay, Spy cleared the trend. Just make sure it's not a fake out breakout. I don't want to get out too quickly here. I want to give it time for a pullback. Let's see, we've got 20 at 359.11. So question is can we get out there safely? we go. SPY's getting bought up. Nvidia's coming back. So that's interesting. I tell you guys, these trend lines, this is why I try to tell you guys all the time. Look at this. As soon as it cleared that trend line, it just started pumping. But still not completely buying it. I mean, we could make our way back up to that 100-day moving average. I guess that's possible. This is a buy signal for a lot of people. You know, but you got to have the buy volume there, and if the bulls can't maintain it, it can easily end up falling. I mean, right now all it's doing is coming up and butting up against these levels here, because we're still looking. We still have to look at areas of support and resistance. Okay, and this is acting as resistance, undoubtedly. So it could come back and do the same thing mRNA just did. Although mRNA is a bit more volatile, so I wouldn't say that I fully expect that from mRNA, but let's just see what it ends up doing here. Nvidia has tapped VWAP multiple times. I think it's possible to get a retest of all that, but I think at this point, I mean, we'd have to really see SPY start tanking. 360.42, yeah, 360.83. And SPY's getting a nice little buy up. Out half on Hexo and putting stop at break even on the rest. How well is it doing? Nice. Let's look at BABA. Let's look at mRNA, Roku. mRNA came back. It's basically holding that trend line. Roku, NCLH, BABA, JD. JD still going down. TWLO. TWLO is just kind of hanging out in the balance up here. I don't know. This might be getting ready to roll over. It's maybe about to get a nice little sell-off. ACB just kind of trucking around, playing into consolidation. Tesla getting bought up on the SPY momentum. Looks like. SPY is slowly but surely trucking. Trucking on up there. Okay. So I'll think about adding another 20 at 360. Where would it be? 362.11? Yeah. I'll think about that. 362.11. I think that'll give us a 20 average at 361 something. SPY is pushing, but it's got to crack through that. I've kind of changed my game plan here just because this is such a critical level here. I want to see it break through that, and then I'll get out. And I'll take a loss on the day if I have to. I really think this would end up coming up to 362. 31 probably. If it did, nah, we'll keep it at 362.11. This is one of those trades that you're just going to have to be really patient on. Yeah, let's see, 362. Yeah, we'll do 362.11. See if we can get it up there. Come on, push. You can do it. There you go. Come on. There you go. There we go. Get up through there. There we go. Come on. Oh, come on. Let's see if we can get it at 361.81. Oh, come on. Man. Where did it start out? 65, yeah, I won't want to get it there. Oh, come on. Man, came all the way up to 361.94. I should have just gotten in right there. Ridiculous. So very good. Took 10K shares at 61 and took half at 64. Just turned green for the day by a bit. Nice. 5,000 shares on 3 cents is... I'm not able to do the math right now for some reason. Why am I not even thinking 5,000 times 0.03 equals... Nice. Good job, man. Good job. And then if you hold 5,000 times... Shoot, man, if you hold that for, let's say 12 cents. Dang, son. That'd be great. That'd be great. That'd be absolutely great. All right, SPY is continuing to push. I don't know why NVIDIA's not. I really wish NVIDIA would push up so I could get more shares, but it might not happen. Might happen here. Maybe it formed a base there. That'd be nice. Formed a little bit of a base there. So 362.11. We got 20 shares. That's the plan. Hopefully the mid 80s. Dude, if you took, let's just say you took it at 82 cent, or so let's just say 82 or 81, 20 cents. Dang, son. Or, you know, you could do, if it gets up to 80, like right as it's tapping on 80's door, I would take 2,500 shares. This is me anyway. I mean, that's just probably what I would do. But that would be locking in another $475. And then, shoot, man, if that other 2,500 rides up to, I know you said something about $1.20. Even at $1.01.40 times that other 2,500 would be 1,000. That'd be pretty good. It'd be pretty good, man. Or yeah, just hold the whole thing and see what happens. Can you imagine if you held the whole 10,000 shares? Question is what kind of commissions are you paying on that though? No, yeah. Man, I hate this. I'm not going to get the move I wanted on Nvidia. I'm probably just going to have to come out break even, and I hate that. I really hate that. $4.95 per trade. Yeah. That's even with 10,000 shares. What are the ECN fees? Like, have you ever worked it out to what you're paying total? Like, if you take 10,000 shares, um, at at basically 4.95 per trade, but what are the routing fees in there? What does it actually add up to? I wonder. That's pretty much how I have to do it on my end. I mean, it's basically $1 per trade, but then you have to calculate the ECN fees, which are very, very minor. It's not a lot. I actually need to go back and check and see what they are. It's been a while since I've looked. I know they're not much. Literally fractions of pennies on the dollar. Oh, okay, good. So you add liquidity. That's good. That's really good, actually. That's how it should be done. You can see today I've traded 1,500 shares and none of them were added liquidity. Pretty much either just, took from the bid or the ask. All right, are we going to get a nice little push up here? I don't want to add right now. I mean, I guess I could, but the only thing is right here on the 5 minute, we're holding that 9 EMA, and I'd hate, even though it looks like we could, make a move back to VWAP. We've tested it multiple times today. I think we'll test it again, but this is just not a good place to add in case we're going to get a continuation. And as you can see, SPY is not able to get above that level yet. So it may just kind of be, making a move. It may come back down here. There we go. See if we can get that move up to 362.10. Come on. Okay, looks like we're getting a rejection here. So we got 40 now at 360.09. Ooh, and that was deceiving. I took it because SPY looked like it was about to get the drop on the 2-minute. Let's see what this runs up to. So 360.09, I would consider 3. $363.09, I guess would be the next possible move there. SPY looks like it's going to get the drop though. I mean, if this gets like kind of a double top rejection almost here and comes crashing down, we'll be good. But if it keeps going, I will be ready to add one more time. It would be nice to get back to VWAP. Tack on an extra, $40 on the day. It's hard to say though. It's hard to say how this is going to go down right now. Really would need to see a good solid fail at this point. Lot, I think, is dependent on the SPY. Very little volumes coming in right now, so okay, looks like it might get a good little push here. SPY looks like it's going to get a push. I like how slow moving it is though. It's not crazy. 362.75. See what some of these other stocks are doing. Oh, TWLO finally got a drop. Nice. Okay, calling it a day. I'll just hold Hexo for as long as it lets me today and get out. Probably won't hold over the long weekend. Really needed Hexo today. Have a nice long weekend, guys. Okay, you too, Yoni B. Good seeing you. I'm probably going to go ahead and bow out too. I do have some other work I need to get to. Didn't really have much today. It's a Friday, but I do have some other stuff that I want to get done. So today, Lord willing, this'll. I mean, I think we've got the makings to make some kind of a return to VWAP today. I could be wrong. I'll be prepared for that if I am, and might just have to take a little bit of a loser on the day today. But it's worth it. It's worth it to see, guys, because I think that again we've got a pretty good case here. Nvidia's it's well overextended. Made an attempt to break all-time highs, couldn't do it. The SPY is getting bought up, but it's not really breaking these levels here. And so I think as long as it gets a rejection off of these levels and starts coming back down towards this trend line, I think that'll be enough to pull Nvidia with it. I will consider adding one more time, and we'll just see. I mean, it's either going to work or it's not, and it's not going to be devastating to the week, even if I have to take like a $50 loss or something like that. It's not. It's no big deal. But yeah, I'll set my stops in place, and obviously you guys will be watching this and checking back in on the market, I'm sure, as the day goes on. But definitely come and check out the recap later, and we'll see how I ended up trading this stock. We'll see if I was able to profit on it or not, or if I had to take a losing day. You know what, the way it's been going, I typically have a red day anyway, right? So this can be my red day, but hopefully not. Hopefully we come out on top and do well, and even if I have to add one more time to it and then catch it on a pullback to kind of minimize the damage, that'll be good. So anyway, SPY looks like it's coming back. It's getting a good solid drop, so maybe it'll pull Nvidia with it. Oh, there we go, guys. Nvidia looks like it wants to come down, so I will consider. Let's see, 360.90. So I would take this 40 at, or 360.09. So I would take this 40 if it came crushing through these levels. I guess a return to VWAP is really where I'd like to get. So I think what I would do is, I think I just move my stop. I think I'll just set a stop here at 362. Let's just see. Set a stop there, and then I'll check in every now and then and just gradually move it down, just in case we do get a nice sell off before the long weekend. So yeah, I guess I could do that. I guess I could just get out at 362.01. We'll say stop. No, it's got a spread on it, so I probably. Let's just see. Let's see if it makes continuation to the downside. Let's see if it breaks through 360.36. See what the SPY does here. Let's just see, guys. 359. 79. So we'll do 362. I would hate for a stop loss order to get triggered there. 362.01. Come on. I'm watching SPY, so I'm going to be careful. I'm not putting this hard stop in yet. because I think it's possible for SPY to roll over here, but it might retest before it does. See, Nvidia's just getting a nasty spike up on that temporary SPY strength. Yeah, look at that. Look at it. It would have totally stopped me out right there. Would have totally stopped me out right there. Well, SPY's getting a buy up. Just see what happens here. Let's just see what happens. I'm not buying it quite yet, guys. I want to see what the SPY does first. Watching the SPY. Now I'll tell you, if the SPY breaks that previous day close level and starts having a massive run up, I will surely come out. It's a critical moment right here, so I'm going to try to stay in it a little bit longer and just see. Work Diver, quick question. What's your current assessment of the SPY? Do you think the SPY is going to break through previous day close and all of those, that place of resistance? Or do you think it's going to come back down through VWAP today? I'm just curious as to what your thoughts are on what the SPY's doing right now. I mean, it looks like a buy up, but it's just such a superficial move. It just doesn't look authentic or genuine, I should say. It looks very disingenuous at this point, but I don't know. I'm just curious as to what your take is on it. All right, guys. Well, I'm just gonna continue waiting on this throughout the day. I do once again have some work I need to get to. So, anyway, enjoyed seeing you guys today, and hopefully we'll still turn this around and have a green day. And you know, obviously check back in with the recap later. You'll find out, and you can probably find out just by watching NVIDIA too. But but anyway, guys. All right, y'all have a good long weekend and very happy Memorial Day. Not sure if you guys are getting together with family or doing any kind of cookouts or whatever, but I hope that the time is well spent and that you guys are well rested and ready to come back here Tuesday. I will be ready myself and looking forward to seeing you guys then. All right, take care.